Chapter 7. I wake up. Spit blood and soil out of my mouth. Thunder is in the clouds. I look up. The cliff goes up as high as I can see, into the clouds. I can't see the opening up there, but I can guess it's near the black rocks that have been darkened by moisture. Not too high up, but I was much higher than I thought I was. My head is pounding at me. A large lump is growing on the side of my bald scalp. Am I on the right chapter? Okay. Sorry about that. Where am I? It's... fuck. A large lump is growing on the side of my bald scalp. It's squid-shaped and a bit blubbery. I try to climb up the cliffside, but the surface is too sheer. My feet can't get any footholds. I get 3 feet off the ground and slip, cutting my toes on the way down and twisting my left ankle a bit. This is seriously fucked. I look around. Where the hell am I? The face of the cliff is covered in dozens of claw marks. Must have been that skeletal creature. I examine the forest. There could be more of them around here. There is an old fence buried in mud and rot, indicating some kind of civilization is nearby, or had been nearby at one time. I continue my effort to climb the wall. No luck. My feet are scraped, bruised, bloodied, and I think I've seriously injured my big toe. What the fuck am I going to do? The wind bites my naked back. I curl into a ball to protect myself from the cold, shivering and growing goose flesh. What the fuck is goose flesh? Goosebumps. A woman's voice is carried on the wind, crying out some unintelligible words. I leap off the ground and climb the cliff furiously, but slip and my belly is scraped against the side of a cliff as I fall back down. The voice continues, only softer. It sounds like she's arguing with somebody, but I don't understand the words. I've got to find something that will help me climb out of here. Maybe I can make a ladder out of the fence. I try to get the wood out of the ground, but the wood folds into halves when I pull on it. It's about as sturdy as wet cardboard. I go to another side of the fence and push on the wood. It breaks in my hands. It's been devoured by termites and is soggy in the middle. Maybe there's a fallen log in the forest. I step carefully into the woods, making sure I don't step on any sharp rocks, making sure nothing jumps out at me. Looking back every 5 seconds to ensure I don't lose sight of the opening in the cliff. The forest is silent. The only sound is my breath, my feet hitting the ground, and the wind in the leaves. The voice on the wind comes and goes. Sometimes I can almost make out a word or two, but can't comprehend what it's saying. It might be somebody who can help me, somebody human. But I'd rather not run into anyone here. Who knows what kind of weird creatures live inside of Stacy's vagina. The wind dies down, the voice gone. There's some kind of building up ahead, a triangle of red peeking out of the trees. I approach it slowly, taking time between steps to listen to what might be lurking in the forest. It's an old log cabin. I step out of the woods into the clearing, an acre of land where the trees have been cut down to stumps. I cover my privates as I tiptoe toward the side of the building. It's very quiet. No sign of life, not even birds in the air. I look in through a window, but it's dark inside. Walking around to the front, I stare across the clearing. The distance is just forest. There are no roads or trails leading up to the cabin. There's no real sign that anybody has ever lived here. I go to the door, knock twice. Hello? No response. I feel stupid for asking, but feel better that I did. Inside, it is mostly dark. There is a hairball of light coming in from the windows, but it doesn't brighten much. I wait for my eyes to adjust. It is musty. The floor is covered in dust. Actually, it looks more like ash than dust, almost an inch deep. It sticks to the bottom of my heels as I cross the room. The furniture is wooden and poorly crafted, like it was built by a sloppy pioneer. The cabin seems to have been made for a single person. There is a single chair, a small table, and a crooked bed with blue mouldy sheets. On a shelf, there are old dolls, a dozen of them, hiding behind cobwebs. I look through a chest for some clothes. There are several strips of cloth, more like rags. At the bottom, I find a pair of overalls. They are as hard as rawhide, but I put them on. Kind of large for me and gritty against my privates, but it'll keep out the cold. I also find some boots under the bed. Caked with mud on the inside and out, but they're better than walking barefoot. I might even be able to climb that cliff with these. There's nothing else of use here, except, maybe, a weapon. There's a rifle on the wall. I pick it up, examine it. Rusted. Even if I had bullets for it, the thing would probably explode in my face if I tried to fire it. There's a knife on the wooden table. It'll have to do. On the way out, I see some movement glistening through the cracked window. There's a figure walking across the clearing past the cabin. Human, I think. I hide behind the wall and peek only one eye out of the window to watch it. It's not exactly human. Its skin is white and red. A female, walking nude, casually through the grass. Some kind of weird bunny ears sticking out of her head. She doesn't make a sound, just passes the cabin and disappears into the woods. She leaves behind a floral scent that tickles my nostrils as if I'd just inhaled a swarm of tiny fluttering moths. It's not like perfume, more like flower sweat. I wait a few minutes, then leave the cabin. I try looking through the forest to see where the girl came from, where she went to, but there aren't any houses that I can see. There's a shed behind the cabin. I go to that. It is filled with mud-caked tools, including an axe. That's what I need. I drop the knife and take the axe. It's old, but still strong enough to fend off attackers. In the back of the shed, there's a ladder. Exactly what I needed. I pull it out, but the wood is soft. 2 of the rungs pop off before I get it out of the shed. I'm not going to be able to climb the cliff with this. Even on the top rung, if it could hold me, I'd still need to climb 5 feet before I could reach the opening. It's worth a try. I run through the woods as fast as I can, hoping the ladder doesn't break apart on me. Carrying the axe at the same time makes it awkward, but I'm not dropping my weapon. The ladder falls to pieces once I get to the side of the cliff, but I bend down, pick up the pieces, and reassemble it. Then lean it against the cliff edge and give it a try. It almost works. A few of the rungs are sturdy enough to hold my weight, but the rest just break off when I step on them. I try climbing without the ladder, but just rip open the wound on my hand. The axe. I climb the ladder as far as I can safely, then strike the cliff with the axe. I pull all my weight on the axe and put very little weight on the weak rungs. Then I pull the axe out and strike again, higher, and continue up. I can see the opening now. Well, not the opening, but I can see where the earth turns to flesh up there. That's where the hole is. At the top rung, the ladder breaks into halves. Some rungs on one half, some rungs on the other, many of them just dropping to the ground. But I'm supported by the axe, for now, balancing. I'm not too far from the fleshy part. I might be able to drop the ladder and climb it on my own. Balancing the ladder just right so it can hold me up for just 1 moment more, I pull the axe out of the cliff and strike higher. Blood gushes through the rock and into my legs. 1 foot slips and the ladder drops, but I'm still hanging onto the axe handle. I find some footholds in the rock and climb the last few feet, using the axe as support. The blood oozes slowly. It doesn't affect my climb, but has an intense copper stink. My hand reaches the hole and I force myself inside. Moisture or no moisture, I shove myself within, leaving the axe in the side of the cliff. That entire chapter was nothing.